Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have the unboxing of the POCO M6 Pro. Let's get started. This is a 4G edition. Remember, there's also the POCO M6 Pro 5G, but it's completely different. Having cleared that up, let me tell you that the price is appearing on your screen. Though remember that the prices here are not the same as the prices there. Now join me in taking the contents out of the box. First, we come across a small envelope where the holster is probably going to come, but let's check it out. First, we find documentation, better known as the paperwork of a lifetime, and then we find the holster. A case that is not transparent, and in this case is in a dark gray tone. The truth is that it looks good. It's probably not a case that's going to be very noticeable when it's old, unlike the transparent cases that are put on with a yellow hue. So it's a good thing that it comes with a holster. And it already reveals the big window that we have here for the camera module and the POCO branding, but let's see what else comes in the box. On this side we have the tool to remove the tray. And now we come across the cell phone. But before we peel back the plastic, let's take a look at the main specifications that this manufacturer highlights. For starters, we have a 120 Hz flow AMOLED display, Full HD Plus resolution. I think that's a very good thing. The 67 watts charge is also very good. The 5000 milliamp battery is the current industry standard. We also have 64 megapixels in the main camera with optical stabilization. Surely the other two cameras will be simpler. And finally, the processor is the Helio G99 Ultra, a special edition of this processor which in itself is considerably good. So we will have to test this variant in applications and games later on. And here we have the device ready out of the box. In this case it is the black color edition, but it is also available in a blue and purple color. And in this edition you don't notice so much the two-color finish that we have available. On this top we have a slightly lighter shade, but in this edition you can hardly see the difference, or it's hard to perceive the difference. Let's put the case on so you can see what it looks like with this accessory on. And I think it still looks ugly. POCO's design has never been their strong suit, but the case actually looks nice. I just don't find the color scheme to be the most pleasing. Let's turn this device on and see what else comes in the box. We find the 67 watt charger, in this case with a European connector, but remember that the charger will arrive adapted to your region if you buy it with official distribution. This is simply a review unit. We have the USB-A port to be able to connect this cable that at the other end will have USB-C and obviously comes with a good thickness to be able to have fast charging. If you want to enjoy the faster charging, you need to use the original cable. Let's put this all away again and take a full look at this cell phone. And that's it. I've got the device set up here so we can get to know it. So let me quickly give you its main specifications. It has a weight of 197 grams and a thickness of 7.98 millimeters. I think in this aspect it behaves as a device within the average. We don't usually find devices that heavy or that thick anymore, so this one meets the standard. The screen, like all the few, is 6.67 inches in its diagonal. In this case, with AMOLED technology, Full HD Plus resolution and 120 Hz in its refresh rate. Of course, it should be noted that if you have a default setting so that it adapts automatically, or you can customize it to specifically select whether you want 60 or 120 Hz. But obviously it is recommended to leave it at the default setting. And something important too is that the touch sampling rate is 2160 Hz. Although this is only when you have Game Turbo mode enabled, so for gaming it seems like it's going to respond very quickly when you're swiping or pressing a button. In addition, this screen is protected with Gorilla Glass 5 and has a fingerprint reader inside. Regarding the photographic section, the front camera is 16 megapixels with f-aperture 2.45. Generally all little cell phones come with the same front camera, so in this section we do not expect many improvements. On the other hand, on the back we have 64 megapixel main camera with aperture f1.8. Then we will find 8 megapixel ultra wide camera with f2.2 aperture. And finally the 2 megapixel macro camera with f2.4 aperture. The camera setup is obviously simple. We weren't expecting something very powerful, but you know, always for the price I think it's a good thing. Here I took some sample shots. For starters, before capturing the picture, notice how we don't have a good balance of highlights and shadows. But notice that it does have automatic HDR. So, after taking the picture, I think it does have a good balance of highlights and shadows. And in fact, we have a photograph with good detail. The truth is that the result of selfies with this device is not bad at all. With the main camera in automatic mode, the photos will be 16 megapixels and I think they are very well detailed. They look good. Good color. Overall, I think it's a camera that's going to deliver. Manually, you can enter the 64 megapixel mode to allow the device to allow you to zoom in more. And truth be told, it does look good using all the information from that sensor, so the pictures come out very well detailed for a later framing if you want, or if you want to print it in a very, very large format. In 2x zoom pictures, it gives us a crop on the sensor to still have good quality pictures with 16 megapixels, and the maximum zoom is 10x even though it's completely digital. But hey, it's what we might expect in a device of this price point. This is the ultra-wide camera, and noted the difference with the main camera. Both pictures taken from the same distance. So I think it does deliver on good photography with plenty of space. And finally, this is the picture that the macro camera can give us. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's better than the result you can achieve with the main camera by zooming in 2x's. Notice all the level of detail that the main camera gives us as opposed to the macro camera, which is not bad but has no more detail than the main camera. Although it must be said that the main camera, this is the closest it can be to small objects, so it is not really a camera that allows you to focus from very close. But as you apply digital zoom 2x and maintains a good quality, I think the result is still better in the main camera compared to what we have in the macro camera. Video recording can go up to full HD. In this sense, it does not come to surprise much, but again, it is what one would expect from a device of this price. Its battery is 5000 milliamps and supports 67 watts charging, which is included in the box. In addition, it does have optimized charging, and that is something new in low-end cell phones. It also has the NFC chip. And in this model, we are talking about a device with 4G connectivity. Remember that there is an edition with 5G that has a more advanced processor, but that is a completely different model. It's also IP54 certified, so it's splash resistant. The version I got my hands on has 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. There is no doubt that this is one of its strongest points. You can even put a micro SD card of up to 1 TB. And if you are the most demanding, there is even a version with 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage, although availability may vary depending on the different regions. Even in addition to the 8 GB of physical RAM, they also offer you 4 GB of virtual RAM, and finally the processor is the Helio G99 Ultra. We're going to run a benchmark to test more or less how much power this processor can give us, because so far we haven't tested it on other devices. We've only tested the standard edition but not the Ultra edition. So I'll leave the benchmark running here and I'll come back when the results are ready. And there's the score. The truth is that it does surprise, especially in multi-core, reaching up to 2019 points. Something that is certainly going to be very attractive. In single core, it is not so powerful, but remember that these numbers are just a small reference. The real performance we will see later in the video review when we will do several tests with many applications and many games so we can know all the details. For now, we are coming to the end of this first look at the POCO M6 Pro 4G. I hope you liked this video. If so, you know you can indicate it, and we'll see you next time.